Welcome to the Self Reality Podcast, a show where we like to talk all things reality TV, the good, the bad, the outrageous, and how we feel about those things. I am your host, Angie, and I am here today to talk Amazing Race Canada, Season 11, Episode 4. And lucky me, I have an excellent guest host today, fantastic podcaster, Nick Hanlon. Welcome, Nick.
Hello. As Nippy would say, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Before I forget, like and subscribe here at the Self Reality Podcast. I would very much appreciate it. And please go on over to one or both of Nick's podcasts. We have first the Dirty Glass Podcast. Booze reviews for the unrefined. Nick and Danny like to rate drinks, drink them, and talk all kinds of shit. And the other one is Kayfabe Wrestling Talk, where how wrestling should be talked about. Did I get
Where
it?
you come to hear how wrestling should be talked
That's
about.
right.
Absolutely.
With Nick and Matthew Barnaby. Go check those out.
Rest in peace, the original reality person, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. That's crazy. Huh. Rest in peace. Okay, so with all that, we have another action-packed episode to talk about, and Nick has to go pack for the cottage. So we're
actually the real reason you watch a reality show. Rest in peace, Ozzy. He was kind of the first one to do like this family stuff.
Yes, he was. Man, it was for us Gen Xers. It was a rough. It's been
a rough couple days.
I mean, oh my goodness.
Prince of Darkness, Godfather reality TV.
Like totally. And that he did that last that last show and everything recently too and stuff. It's just something else. So
if anybody feels like crying, look up Ozzy saying "Mother, I'm coming home" as he's dying. It's tearjerker. Anyway, like and subscribe.
All right. So as I said, Nick is going to a cottage tomorrow, so we best get right into it. We have a very exciting episode to talk about. So there. As I've been saying, it finally happened. They flew to the Northwest Territories. So
Inuit.
I thought it was Inuvik.
Inuvik?
Yeah, Inuvik.
That was close.
Yeah,
I thought they said Nunavut the first 10 times. So
yeah, it's until you get used to hearing it, it's a little tricky. So they actually flew to it's the Arctic Northwest Territories eventually, which is Canada's third coast. I thought it was interesting that one of the Rebeccas is from Northwest Territories.
She said that a lot of her family doesn't live there anymore because they got taken away and put into residential schools.
I think she was sort of looking to go there and sort of feel the things and go to where she's from, because she actually said, and so sad that her mother, aunts, and uncles were all, I think, taken there and put in residential schools. So that would have been a really emotional journey for her for sure. And then Magoo and Nippy actually have been there because they're youth mentors as well. So that's kind of interesting to me that we have two groups like that have sort of connections to the Northwest Territories, considering, like you saw, the size are very, very small. And then
population small anyway. Northwest Territories is vast.
Well, it's a vast.
But yes,
it's just like
the
Canada.
Population is very, very small.
Pardon me, it's very small. Like when we look at the little one in the Arctic, like that little community they had to run through, that was. We'll get to it.
It's kind of like that little community we got fish and chips at in Iceland.
Yes.
It reminded me of.
Yes. It did feel that vibe,
fishing
like
town.
Tiny. I'm not even saying full words anymore. I'm like Kevin Malone from The Office. Tiny.
Yeah, just save time.
Time. So Evie and Blake, and now I'm going to talk a little bit about strategy now that we've kind of like laid the groundwork. So Evie and Blake are now already ready to take out Jesse and Jonathan, because like Evie and Blake are a pretty strong team. So that's interesting. Now,
we now have villains.
Well, we do now have villains, because I'm mentioning them because they were the last to get a cab. Because if you think about it, it's a tiny community. They only have a certain number of cabs, right? Like
that's a big issue. Taxis there.
Yeah, like it's not like wouldn't even have Uber, so they just have cabs. So you have Grace and Joe and Evie and Blake calling for a cab. And what did they do?
Well, Evie and Blake just said their name's Joe, got in the cab and took off. And then the guy's like, well, what was his name? He's like, well, there's two Joes.
I mean, smart.
It's villainous, but it's smart.
I think you would do that.
I wouldn't put myself past it.
Like, I wouldn't even put myself past it. Like, I think I would consider it. I mean, it's
pretty quick thinking to say, oh, there's two Joes.
Exactly, because, the guy's like probably worried he took the wrong fare and stuff too, right? So he's like, oh, no, there's two Joes.
But Joe should have been more vocal. She'd be like, that guy's name's not Joe. He didn't say that once. They just let it go.
I think Grace and Joe are letting things go a little bit too much, to be honest with you. I think them being too quiet at the airport last episode, I think them sort of biting their tongues here. Like, you guys gotta, it's $250,000. Like, you gotta get in there, man. So I for sure think you would consider stealing a cab, and you would have been yelling, no, his name's not Joe, that's EB and Blake. Like, this is my cab, blah, blah, blah. Like, I
100%.
think you would have been in there like nobody's
I was
business.
like, go,
So
go, go.
I think that's pretty interesting. And then
Is this also where the teams start finding out who the express pass? I think that was before the cabs, where the teams are starting to figure out that the Cowboys
Yes.
gave the express
So
pass to the fabulous ones.
yeah, like that's actually a good point. I have that noted that it's EB and Blake. So it's all these guys are gonna do well if they still have to make they still have to kind of build alliances a little bit too. But with Villany and figuring out, like, they're doing well. Like, they are suspicious about the express pass, about how quickly Jesse and Jonathan got through. So here's my question for you, because they said we were chatting with other people. So this is the question we asked last week. Like, do they chat afterward? They must have.
There must be a common area.
Yeah,
I mean,
something,
unless they're
right?
totally keeping them segregated, which I
Doesn't
don't
make
know.
sense. That doesn't make sense to
I
me.
don't know. I think there's
Um,
some chatter at the hotels. Probably there's probably a. I don't know if there's a restaurant. Who knows? Like, there's got to be some common area where they pack some food in or something.
well, yeah,
Like, because
because where are they
they're
eating?
eating, they're
Yeah,
feeding
like,
them somehow. We don't
well,
see them eat really on the thing, except for, I mean, there's a challenge coming up, but
yeah, except the challenge that we're gonna get to.
you don't see them stopping at Mickey D's for a McDouble at any point in the game. So
Oh,
obviously they're getting up in the morning and eating, and I assume eating at night.
so they're talking.
I
They're
don't know what the
talking.
catering
Or
situation looks like.
maybe on the flights too, right? Because in this case, we had 4 people on each flight going from. So they went Vancouver to Yukon,
Those
Yukon to
planes didn't
Inuvik.
look like they had much food service.
No, I
Those,
don't think. I'm not saying for food. I'm
oh,
saying for chatting.
oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, yeah.
For
I mean,
chatting.
there's moments where we don't see and they're together and they're chatting. I'm just wondering if it's a great
Where's the
question. Like,
food?
I'd like to see a
Where's the beef?
documentary. I'd like to see one on Survivor as well, but there should be a documentary on all the back stuff,
Well, I'm
right?
super curious about the back end, because I did quickly, when I was editing the last week's, I did quickly try and look it up, and I couldn't find that much. It's very secretive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up again specifically about food, though. I'm gonna make a note. So anyway, I think it's interesting that there is suspicions, and they're like, that's ridiculous for Louis and Marie to do. I think it was too, a little bit, but because those guys, Jesse and Jonathan are doing really well. So
Now we
you don't
also have
want
to
to.
mention Scooby and Skippy or whatever their names are. The youth, the folks. Skippy, what is it? Nippy and Magoo.
Nippy and Magoo.
They stole their cab before EB, and which is
Did they?
yeah, they
I
like
missed
ran. I
that.
don't, it's a real small part, but a cab stops and they're like approaching it,
Yeah.
and Nippy and Magoo like run into it, like run
You
past him and
think
get in the
you
cab.
think
And
so? Was that
I heard Brandon. Is it Brandon? Brandon and his sister Bronson.
Grace and Joe?
Yeah, yeah. I'm terrible with names, man. Jeez. Because as soon as they got in the cab, they're like, "We called it first, or we waved it down."
So they okay. I didn't. You
It's like
know
one
what?
line. They didn't
See,
really
Nick,
focus
but
on it, but they said like one line, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
well,
Now
it
I don't
looks
know if they
like
did it on purpose, Skippy and Magoo, or whatever, but
no Nippy.
Nippy. So
So
I don't know if they're just so excited they ran into it and they didn't. I don't know if they it's a villain situation, but that they stole their cab.
okay, so interesting. Thank you for catching. I missed that one, and I'm pretty fastidious about taking notes. So they all, like, again, only 15 minutes apart, right? 2 flights. So everyone gets there, and then because we're already talking about it, so they're all trying to get a cab to my handwriting, as you know, is terrible. Imgamo Hall, the Friendship Center. And they need to eat a traditional meal. So I have to ask you,
I
because,
thought of you
like,
immediately.
I was like, I think I would eat it. I think I would eat it. I
I'll
would
tell
try.
you right
Just,
now though, like
do you
you're
think I
not
wouldn't?
vegan. No, no, you
No, I'm not
probably.
vegan.
I would eat more of it, but you'd eat some of it, but you're not vegan, so it wouldn't f you up as much. Like the PEI girl's the one girl's
She's vegan.
vegan. If she ate that meat, she'd just be throwing up probably.
Yeah, and she's been vegan, she said, since she was like
She
12
was
years old.
12. No
But
wonder she's so small. Cut it out. Anyway.
I have to tell you, yeah, my most moving point of this episode,
Oh, this is my enraging one. Go ahead. I know what you're talking. I know what you're gonna say. I
because
think.
I cry. Louis helps them because the one girl, I can't remember if it's Celia or Lacey, but oh yeah, Lacey's the
Lacey.
vegan. So Celia is like crying and gonna throw up because she's eating all of it because it's basically all meat products. And I knew you would hate it, but I teared up that he helped her. Like he was like, I'm
He's
a dad of girls and I'm gonna help them. Like, come on,
It'd be
no?
tough, you know what? Like them sitting there crying, and if you like them, it'd be tough not to help them.
Yeah,
But on the other side, this guy's helping too many people. It's going to come back to bite them.
true. That's true because you know what? Last week they gave their express passes to the number one team, right?
Strategically, they
So
don't have it.
let's see if
Too
that
much
does come
heart
to
on their
bite them because
sleeves.
maybe the heart is good. Maybe the heart will win, just
That's
like
true. I mean, you
Survivor.
get favors or whatever, but
It's a
I
little
don't know.
much. So
I'm 50-50 on whether I would have helped. I don't know.
see, as I'm saying, and I cried, I would have told you not to help.
Like, let's get out of here.
If you went to help, I'd be like, no, 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 let's go. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
This is a small place. We got to rock and roll. Like every minute counts. So number ones was Jonathan and Jesse. And then you have the Rebecca's were second, Ika and Dimitri. Nippy and Magoo, they came from fifth up to fourth, which is interesting because they were like 15 minutes behind. And then Lacey and Marie, or no, Louie and Marie, Celia and Lacey, and then EB Blake, Grace and Joe, like they're behind. And at this point, Grace and Joe are behind by an hour. Having that cap stolen, like put them behind by an hour.
An hour. Yeah.
It's an important, like we'll come back to that because like that's a big, 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 like to be behind that much is crazy.
So this isn't a flight yet. This is where they're racing to the roadblock or the whatever
We're
it's
going to
called.
the detour. So now we're going to the
Detour.
detour.
There's a lot of
After they
challenges in this one.
So 8 again, but well, including flying and going to the pit stop, there's 8 again. It's so much for my perimenopause addled brain to
It
handle
seemed like there was an
sometimes.
extra challenge even.
No, there was 8. I have them all
I'm not
noted.
saying there wasn't 8 stops. 3 of them were challenges.
It was crazy.
I think
And
it's
we'll
only
talk
2,
about
isn't
that
it? I
later
don't know.
because there's a breakdown later. And at first I wasn't feeling super sympathetic because it was like on a puzzle. But then again, after the day that, can you imagine living this day? This is a day, isn't it? I think it's a
The
day.
bitch that had the breakdown didn't need any of the meat. I mean, that's later on, but
Oh my
yeah,
God, that's such a good analogy, or not analogy. It's such a good comparison, or sort of whatever. I can't think of words today. So we get to the detour. Which one would you pick? So it's learn a language. So they either learn Gwich'in and they have to like basically learn enough to have a conversation and answer questions by one of the elders, or they assemble a traditional toy and then they have to deliver like 5 of them to 5 locations. What would you have done?
I probably would have started with language, then switched over to toys.
A language was hard. The
Yeah.
language one was
I
hard
mean,
with
what?
all of those people, and I would have destroyed those chairs. They were little children chairs. Did you
Yeah.
notice
Yeah.
that? I was
Yeah, I
like,
did.
I'm like, there's no way, man.
I mean, with all the buildings so close together, the toy one
It's not as hard as I thought.
was a smart move.
I
Yeah,
thought
me
they had to
too.
drive all over the place, but it was like they were running.
Like on the same
Although
street, pretty much.
Although I related to Marie, whose son was like running ahead of her. Oh, Brucey wants to be in the podcast today. Hi, Brucey. Um, and she's like, "You gotta wait for me." I'm like, she was getting out of breath. I'm like, I would relate to that. He's like, he's all fit and buff. Like, it's your mom. Like, give her a break, because she's keeping up. She's trying to keep up. So the toys do seem a little harder, except then when I watch them trying to learn the language and like everyone doing it at the same time, that would be super tricky. Only 3 of them did toys, Ika and Dimitri, and they stay in second doing the toys, and then Louis Marie do toys, and then Grace and Joe do toys, right? So, and then everyone kind of stays kind of similar. Well, actually, Lacey and Celia get up to third as well. So
Yeah, the
then
language one was very intimidating for me.
it would be hard. It's not and it's well, any language, but like for me, I hear French a lot, so I probably could handle a French language challenge, right? But like a totally foreign language I've never heard, it would be very difficult. So then we go head on over to the roadblock. Who has an eye for the Arctic? I love this challenge. This is my favorite challenge so far. Dog sleds.
Dog sledding, it'd be the
I
fun
would
one.
It'd be
The
so
memory
much
part would be
fun.
tough.
I think you have to do what I think it was EB and Blake. One of them, I can't remember who did it for any of them, but they made a song. You're like
That was
Arctic
smart.
Fox, Arctic Fox. You know what I mean? Like you'd have
I
to
mean,
do
the
something.
fabulous ones. The one guy's a lawyer, and he was
That
pretty
was
smart because he just remembered the first letter. He was
yeah.
like letter this, and that's probably what he did in law school. I assume he got it on the first try.
Well, that's the kind of stuff you have to do for me anyway. When I was taking, especially actually law courses, I would have to kind of like do and there's a name for it, but you'd like just take the first letter of each thing and just be
Yeah.
like advac, you know what I mean? Like you, so you know the order. So yeah, he was probably like Arctic Fox, and like you could see him trying to
You
remember.
heard him do that.
Yeah,
And he also reviewed the board before he left. Because you
and
can't
that
call a
was,
hare a rabbit, it's an Arctic hare or whatever. Or
and they
like all
gave
that kind of stuff.
advice,
So
and then they gave that advice to Louis and Marie to help them, and like
and I
Louis
think
did,
they got on the first try too.
he did, like Louis did a really good job. Lacey and Celia did not have a good day today. She did not do well. She had to keep going and going. But would you have, I would have loved this challenge, Nick. The dogs, like just dog sledding, like come on, it's so iconic.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really neat.
That was like my
Really neat to
favorite
do.
one. And then
I mean,
after
I
they
wouldn't
get,
find waiting while you're on the thing. I'll play with the dogs.
well, they all did. You could see them playing with the dogs while they were
Yeah.
waiting.
They're cute.
I would have wanted to
Except for
do
that
that
one
once.
girl, the two dogs started fighting that screwed her up. That was Lacey.
I felt bad for her. That really messed with her, and it took her a couple goes. So it just kind of progressively gets worse. So now we go to the Inuvik satellite station where they just, but essentially, like they're doing puzzles of like pictures that have been painted in satellites, and the satellite only kind of turns so you can see it every once in a while, but you could figure it out without seeing it, really.
Oh yeah. It did look like a tough puzzle because I don't know. The
It was a
white part would
tough,
have been hard.
so it was tough in that it's not like a traditional, like with the sort of
Yeah.
curvy things, it's all just straight lines, which can be super tricky when you're, like you said, because a lot of it was the white part. So you're trying to just figure out how all of these just basic shapes, like a triangle and a rectangle and an ox, you know what I mean, how they all fit together.
And this is where the cowboy team almost messed up because they lost a piece under the table.
I was like, look under. Haven't you watched at least Survivor? If you
Well,
cannot
they even
figure it
mentioned it. They're
out,
like, did we drop a piece? And then
and then they
I don't
didn't
know how
look
long in
until
between, but it didn't seem like they looked for a while. Yeah.
exactly.
But in the
So
snow too, it'd be tough to see. But I mean, once they saw it, you just look.
yeah, I mean, it's a piece of cardboard. So this one, nothing of note except Celia and Lacey take a penalty,
Yeah, they give up.
and they were almost done. Like I saw the puzzle was almost done, and I'm like,
See,
and
the
the
one girl couldn't
penalty.
get her head wrapped around like the circle part. Although I don't think the circle part mattered that much because she was like,
That's
she
just
just
the
like,
edge
oh,
of the.
this edge doesn't go here. Like that's what they're
Is
fussing
that
on
what
so
screwed them up?
much.
But
And then
but
she just
it's.
broke down and started crying and wanted to take the penalty.
And Nick's theory is that's because she didn't eat any meat.
Well, I'm like, my point on that is not because you need any meat. It's you didn't do the work, so get your shit done. Is kind of my
Oh, I
point. It's
thought
not
you
like
meant.
you didn't
I
eat
thought
meat,
you
so you
were.
can't think. Like that's a pretty funny joke, but
That's what I thought you meant
Neanderthal thinking.
because you used to make fun of me when I was a vegetarian, even. So I just thought that's what you. Oh, so she hadn't eaten, so she was okay. Good
She
point.
just
That's
didn't put
even
any
better
work
point.
in, put way less work in than the other girl.
And then
And
just
then,
to
by the
meld,
way, why didn't the other, like, wasn't it a two-person puzzle? Couldn't the
just do
other girl
it.
just take her off it, be like, "Go sit over here and cry. I'll do the rest." That's
That's a good.
that's another question I have.
Well, I'll say right now that if you were having a meltdown about a puzzle, but you wouldn't even think of leaving, you'd say, do you know what you would do? You'd say, just do it. You would say, I'm going to go over here. I'm furious or what, I'm frustrated.
You do
Do
it,
it.
I'll look, or whatever.
Yeah. Or I'll just stand over here. I'm going to have a smoke over here.
There
You figure
wouldn't
out the
be
puzzle.
quitting.
No, never. It's a 2-hour penalty. Like they're screwed. And I thought what was also, so it's a long day. So you also had Louis falling down, which made me giggle just because someone falling
Yeah, that
down
was
and not getting
hilarious.
hurt. It's kind of,
And the actor brother team, they got that puzzle done so quick when they caught up.
they killed it. Like Evie and Blake, I gotta say, and we're
Blake's a
gonna
puzzle guy. He did it in like it seemed
like just
like 10 minutes. I don't know how long, but it seemed quick.
they seemed really fast. And then the next thing, like this,
Another
you're right.
thing, there's another challenge.
There's a
There's like
so
4 challenges.
so now, yeah, they have to. Well, first we have the route info. So now they have to fly to Tuktoyaktuk. I wrote it
Second
down,
flight.
and it's can't. This is where it's like the Arctic, which I would love. I would love to go to the sign, the pit stop sign. Like I would love to go. Anyway, I just like stuff like that. So
Yeah.
they have 3 flights, which was interesting. So because so flight 1 and 2 has three, like the first three, the second three, and then basically flight 3, whoever like they have to wait. So Lacey and
You
Celia,
can't fly
let's
until
you can't fly until the last team gets there. That would
yeah.
suck. So they're actually lucky that Lacey and Celia took the penalty. Or
Oh
they
yeah.
like who the hell knows. So on flight 1 you have Jesse and Jonathan, EB and Blake, Ika and Dimitri. And then flight 2 was the Rebecca's, Nippy Magoo, Louie and Marie. And then you have, of course, Grace and Joe, who, let's remember, were an hour behind. They caught up to Celia and Lacey here.
Yeah,
So
they
they've
got to the
caught
flight
up.
thing first.
Exactly. And now they're going, so they go to, Tuk Tuk Tuk. Now they have to do, so now they do.
I call this Indigenous American Gladiators.
Okay. All right. Like they
Oh, it's
called
just
it
weird.
well, it's just, like it's like balance games. I would have struggled a lot with some of these.
I also put these games look like something an insane person would invent, or somebody that lives in the Arctic. Because what else are you gonna do?
Well,
Because they
they're
seem
good for
insane.
it looked the flexibility though. Like you have to go from almost seated to like your feet, and
I
then
get it,
that kicking
but who the
one.
hell would think of these games?
Well, people trying to
That's the
improve their
thing.
minds, help the
That's the thing.
mind and the
Well,
body and the
again,
flexibility.
and if
It's
you live in
Arctic.
the Arctic, you got to figure out some workarounds,
Stuff to do.
right?
You got to be quick on your feet. These were they looked hard, especially the one where they had to kind of have their foot like held and then jump up and kick that ball. Like anyway, it was crazy. Jesse and Jonathan win the assist, which means out of the three, because they have to win three competitions, they have to do three of these games. One of the experts gets to do it out of the three. So but guess who comes in first? Not Jesse and Jonathan this time. It's Evie and Blake.
Yeah, EB and Blake barely.
Barely. And I also thought it was funny that, not funny, I thought it was interesting that it was like, so to get to the pit stop, you just basically have to, it's a foot race. I looked it up too. I looked it up on the Google Maps. It's 1.7 kilometers from where they were. I don't think I'd be running the whole thing, but I'd be hustling.
There'll be some speed walking.
Yeah. So number one for the first time, not Jesse and Jonathan, it's Evie and Blake. They win a trip to Amsterdam and 10 grand. Well done. Well done. Jesse and Jonathan
Good
are
trip for
second.
a couple of youngins.
And then Jesse and Jonathan, Ike and Dimitri. So basically the three who were on the first flight. Louis and Marie, like Louis really kicks it. Like they did really well at these games. Nippy and Magoo, the Rebecca's, and then seventh is Grace and Joe, and last is Celia and Lacey.
Now the way that they were setting it up, like they had the video package of the sadness and all this stuff before they got there.
Because I always cry. So I always cry because I'm a sap.
I wrote down before they got to the pad, they're setting this up as a non-elimination round. I knew it.
I suspect it, but then how he put it, it sounded like I was like, oh, they're going home because I'm like, there's going to be a non-elimination at some point.
It was just so obvious. I was like, they're trying to make us cry.
They did make me cry. They did make me cry. So my question for you is, are they going to be able to overcome not only the 2-hour penalty, but they also have to do a speed bump? What do you think?
I mean, that one girl's got to get her head right.
She needs to get a good sleep.
Her mental was bad that day, so she needs to get some food in her, get a good sleep, and we'll see. I mean, they're an athletic couple. It really depends. Hopefully there's no puzzles, because that might give her some PTSD, but I doubt there'll be a freaking puzzle like that this one. I don't see why they couldn't. They're young. They're fit.
Yeah, they're fit. They'll pick it up. And Grace and Joe, are they going to be able to recover from this? Because they're hitting the bottom right now.
I think that was definitely a stroke of bad luck. I think we're going to see them climb.
I think they're a strong team. I think they have
too nice.
So this is what we're starting to see is like too nice, and then. But what did you think that there is some villainy next week too? Did you watch the next time? It's
supposed to be with them, I guess. They hinted at it, so maybe they had a discussion in their hotel room.
Yeah, Grace and Joe. Basically, you just see them driving away, and you have Nippy and Magoo like Grace and Joe like yelling. So I don't know if they stole a cab or they wanted a lift, or I'm not sure what happened. But
something happened.
If Grace and Joe want to move up the pack, they need to. I even saw that fly. It was so big, by the way. They need to not be so nice. Like you do have to balance niceness with playing the game and maybe a little villainy. So good episode. I am.
Like I selfish sometimes.
Yeah, like I said, I may have also stolen the cab, because look at how much further behind they were, having to wait an hour for a cab.
It screwed them. It was not the time to.
So if Evie and Blake hadn't stolen it, and listen, they won this leg, right? If they hadn't have stolen that cab,
they would have won it.
They could have, yeah. So anyway, interesting. I like that we're getting a little bit more drama. It's still like it's a lot. It's a lot of challenge. Like it's a lot to keep in mind, especially because everyone's doing different things at different times. But great episode. I'm really excited that we got to see Northwest Territories. I'm hoping they stay somewhat in the territories next week, but I couldn't tell where they were for the next week, so we'll see. And do you have anything else? I think I covered what I had notated.
No, this is my favorite episode so far.
Yep, same here.
So, I mean,
It makes me realize why I do like watching it. I love to see, like, I do like drama, as we know, but I like to think about how would I act in that situation. You're right. I thought of the meat chat. I'm like, would I eat that? So everyone, I don't eat pork and beef, and I was a vegetarian for a long time. But I think in this case, I eat meat though, so I eat poultry and fish. I would eat it just so you didn't have to do all of it.
well, it's also
But
the
if
thing on Survivor. If you get, you only eat chicken or whatever, and you
I'd
do
eat
the
whatever,
auction and you get a burger, it's one of those
I'd eat
blind ones, you
I'd eat the
probably eat it,
burger.
right?
I'd
But
eat the burger.
again, it's a different thing because you are used to some,
But I eat animal
right?
based
That's the thing,
products.
right?
So
Like
she's a
somebody that's
vegan. She doesn't even
since
eat butter.
12,
Yeah, like she doesn't even eat butter, she doesn't eat
I don't know if she can
some
handle it.
so anyway,
I
great
also, I
episode.
also thought it was a little selfish not to try. At the same time, I guess I get it. I don't know.
That's why I'm saying to you I would have eaten it. I would have eaten it. I would have
But I mean,
tried
if
at
she ate it
least.
and then puked and got sick, is that even worse?
Yeah,
Didn't
it's
seem
hard
like
to
that much
say.
meat anyway. I would have been able to eat like 80% of
I
that.
actually think you could have eaten most of it, only
Like it
because
didn't
of
seem like
how
that much.
it was like a little. It seemed like, but they're little women, like they're small women, I guess, right? Like even to me, I'm like, that's not that. I looked at them like that's not that much. Like it's just like it looked like the size of chicken wings, couple
You
chicken
got to
wings,
remember, it's high protein and like probably like no fat. So
Right.
like a filet mignon is much more filling than a ribeye. Because ribeye
Okay.
has like fat on it. When it's
Right.
just
That's why it's
pure
small protein.
protein, it's very filling.
Oh, okay.
Like deer and stuff, it's very filling because it's so dense in protein.
Gotcha.
That's why she was sweating. She was just so much protein.
Interesting.
I could eat a ribeye that's this big, but a filet mignon,
Like
I
those
get the
little
same
tiny.
fullness.
Yeah.
The ones with the bacon
Okay.
wrapped around,
Yeah.
like
Oh
there's
yeah.
no fat on those.
I've eaten. I mean, it's been 10 years, 15. But I used to eat. I've eaten filet mignon. That's interesting. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you all for watching and joining us on this fun journey of watching Amazing Race Canada, looking at the scenes, watching the drama, reflecting on how we would act. If you like, hit the notification button. Also, like and subscribe my channel, Self Reality Podcast. And while you're at it, head on over to Kayfabe Wrestling Talk with Nick and Matthew Barnaby. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and the Dirty Glass Podcast with Nick and Denny. Go check all of those things out. Like, subscribe, all the things. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you next week.
Let's go.
Bye.